Hello, this video will be about determining the protons, neutrons, electrons, and valence electrons of an element. First, you need to know the atomic mass and the atomic number in order to determine the protons, neutrons, and electrons. Next, to get the valence electrons, you will need to know the group that it is in. First, I will talk about how on the periodic table, if you look at lithium down that group, that is called the alkali metals. If you look on the second group, from beryllium down, that is called the alkaline earth metals. These metals in the middle are known as the transition metals. If you look from boron, you can see down this line, any element that is touching that is called a metalloid. So, from the left part of that, these are known as the metals, whereas if you go right of that staircase line, those are known as the nonmetals. If you look from fluorine down that group, that is called a halogen, whereas these last ones are noble gases. Now, to determine the protons, neutrons, electrons, and valence electrons of an element, you need to choose any element on a periodic table. So, if we start with lithium, you can see above here that this is the atomic number, which is 3, which also equals the protons in an element. The neutrons would be the atomic mass, which is 6.94, rounded to 7, minus 3, which equals 4. The electrons is the same thing as the atomic number in this example, but that would change when you have a charge with it. The atomic mass would be the 6.94 equals 7. The valence electrons is the group that it is in. So if you look back to your periodic table, you can see that lithium is in group 1. So they would have 1 valence electrons. So 1 electron in its outermost electron shell. Then, if you got an example such as lithium plus, then you can see that the atomic number still stays the same, which would be 3, just like here. The protons, same thing, 3. Neutrons would be atomic mass minus atomic number, so that would also stay the same as the regular lithium. The electrons would be 2 though, because if you have a plus 1 charge, you would subtract minus 1 electron from it, so you would have 2 electrons. The atomic mass is still 7, as over here. Next, you could take chlorine. So, if you look at the atomic number of chlorine, it is 17, which you can see up here. Same thing for the number of protons. Then the neutrons would also be atomic mass minus atomic number, which is 35.45, or 36, rounded, minus 17, which would be about 19 neutrons. Then, if you take electrons, that would be the same thing as the protons because there's no charge associated with the chlorine in this example. The atomic mass would be the 35.45. As a recap, protons equals atomic number. Neutrons is the atomic mass minus the atomic number. Electrons would be the same as protons, but if there's a charge, that would change the number of electrons compared to protons. So if you had a plus 1 charge on the element, you would have 1 less electron than proton. If you had a plus 3 charge, you would have 3 less electrons than protons. And for valence electrons, if you look at the group that it is in, you take that number and that would be the valence electrons and the outermost electrons of an element.